I think we're live. Are we? Is everything set up? I don't know. Things are a little crazy right now because I'm out here by myself. Hello, everyone. Very excited to be here tonight to deliver a little bit of unfortunate news right off the bat. You got me and me alone tonight. Sorry. I know half of you are going to click off now, but hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully you stick around. Thank you to Furlough and Candy both for giving me the microphone and video check. Thank you for that. Never really can quite relax and get into the groove until I see that. So thank you for that. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and then we'll get into some Q&A type stuff. But you know the way I like to talk. Today is no different. I've got quite a few things to talk about while everybody files in here. First of all, like I said, no Lisa tonight. Nothing to be alarmed about. Everything's fine. She's just not going to be here tonight and probably also next Thursday. So if you're somebody that tunes in just for her, I'm sorry, but you might want to skip the next couple of weeks. I don't want to see you do that. I want to see you hang out with me. Don't hurt my feelings like that. But if you can't because you love her and you don't want to have anything to do with me, then I don't blame you and I will forgive you. Come back in 2 weeks. Thank you, Tyler, commenting on the nice cameras. Oh, it feels so good to hear that because this drove me crazy for quite some time. So I want to talk about a couple of videos that are coming up that I really do think everyone's going to like. If you are a fish keeper, you are going to love these videos that I'm going to be uploading. And I'm going to do it a little bit differently for a very good reason. So I touched on this last week. I got a call from my buddy, Rama down in Richmond, Virginia. I didn't talk about the name of the store last week, but I talked about how I was going to a buddy of mine's shop and was going to do a tour and make some videos with him. That sounded weird. Film some videos about fish keeping with him. That was the plan. And went down there on Wednesday, but I did not actually say what the store was, you know. I mean, with the stalkers and with the paparazzi and with all of that, you know, I mean, I just couldn't make it known where I was going to be. Of course, I'm being an idiot. That's a joke. It is Schools of Fish, spelled Skoolz of Fish. They're in Mechanicsville, Virginia. And Rama's a friend of mine. Rama Sabakan is the name of the owner. This is a guy that I sold fish to, that Lisa and I were breeding before I even had a YouTube channel. I knew him and was selling fish to him. So a very, very cool guy. And he's become a friend over the last 10 years. And he was nice enough to spend half of a day with me on yesterday. The plan was to go in there earlier in the morning and film before he opened up. And I think we were filming about a half an hour after he opened, meaning the whole morning and then the afternoon. He opens at noon. And it was about 12:30 when we finished up. So it was a long time, but we got some absolutely amazing stuff to show you all. It's going to be, I don't want to say epic because everybody says that, but these are going to be, I've already edited 2 of them and they are amazing. But there is kind of a catch here. So the first one's going to come up this Sunday and I'm super excited for you to see it, but I had to cut it into 2 parts because Rama is quite possibly worse than me when it comes to, once he gets going, he ain't stopping. And he's going to go, which is really good. And I was really surprised by because he's kind of a reserved guy. He's not like this outgoing, bursts into the room and everybody knows he's there. He's kind of the quiet guy that, you know, just kind of hangs around. And so when I clicked record on the camera, it was like a switch went off in him and he was just like, wah, 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 and he just kept on going and going and going and going. The first video was going to turn out to be 44 minutes long. I didn't think anybody was going to want to sit through a video that long, even though he is amazing and he's very clear and easy to understand, and he's a super easy guy to listen to. I just thought 40, it's either 41 or 44 minutes. Thought that might be asking a bit too much of the viewers. So what I've decided to do is upload part 1 on Sunday, this coming Sunday, and then part 2 is going to be Tuesday. Tuesday videos, we upload on Tuesdays sometimes, and sometimes we don't. But this one is going to be a kind of bonus video. So definitely be looking for that video. I upload at 10 a.m. On my time, which is the East Coast. It'd be 7 a.m. West Coast, and whatever time, wherever else you are. I'm sorry, I don't know everybody's time zones, but for us, it's 10 a.m. Sunday mornings. That's when I upload. Be looking for that, and then be looking for part 2 on Tuesday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Trust me, you will be glad you watched both of these videos. Incredible stuff. And then we actually filmed 2 additional videos after that, which I'm not gonna just completely turn my channel into the Schools of Fish channel and every single video I upload is going to be of him. We're going to mix it up a little bit. Probably, I don't know, probably 2 weeks I'll put out the other video. But let me tell you something, folks. You're going to want to watch it. That's all I have to say. I don't want to say too much. I will say one thing, though. He has a fish in his shop that we knew. And in fact, in the video, I said, okay, it's time to start a little controversy now. This is a controversial fish that he has in his shop. But it's not like he sought this fish out and wanted it to display. This is a fish that somebody bought. I don't want to say a customer because they didn't buy it from him, but they bought this fish somewhere. I think I know where, but and they realized what they had done, and the place that they bought it wouldn't take it back, so they brought it to him, and he took it in, and he's got plans for it that do not involve his shop. So if you want to see that fish in video, you're going to want to watch that. And spoiler alert, it's an arapaima. If you've never seen an arapaima before, it is spectacular. It's only 14, 15 inches long. I think he says 12 inches in the video. No, he's wrong. It's like 14, 15. It's not massive. They can get like 14 feet long when they're full grown. Nothing like that. But it's still big enough to make an impact. And I got a lot of really good footage of the fish. And so much, in fact, that we did a video specifically about that fish. So be looking for that in the future. I don't want to put it all out at once. So it'll be a couple weeks down the road. We'll put that video out. Be looking forward to it because it is awesome. He is awesome. I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of Rama in the coming months. And hey, he's got an open invitation to be on this channel whenever he wants to be because he is awesome. And not only is he good on video, he's a really good guy. He's just, yeah, he's going to be on this channel a lot if I have anything to do with it. He did say he was getting a really big shipment. His store is doing so well. He gets 2 to 3 shipments a week of fish into his shop. And he said he had a big one coming in today. And then I think he said another one maybe tomorrow. So I might see if I can't swing down there this weekend and maybe get some more stuff. I don't know, but awesome shop. You're definitely going to want to check that out. You know, channel has seen a little bit of a slump over the last couple of months. And, you know, I don't know if it's time of year. I don't know if people are sick of seeing my face. I don't know what it is, but hopefully this will kind of get us out of that funk. Who knows? But it hasn't taken away my love for doing videos. I absolutely love it. Having a blast with the channel. But, you know, it's just kind of one of those down times. And that sucks. But hopefully this will change that. Rama can come to the rescue. So anyway, I got another fun story to tell you. I considered editing the name or the title of this stream like 5 minutes before I went live. I was about to do it. And then I said no, because it would kind of be, well, it wouldn't be clickbait. I don't know. I was going to title this video or this stream, I saved, it was 11, saved 11, it was either 10 or 11 full-grown koi from certain death. And that would be kind of embellishing a little bit because I don't think they would have died, but I definitely made them happier. And maybe I saved them. Who knows? But let me tell you the story. Lisa and I, we do this weird thing. I've been doing this my entire adult life, and I think it has kind of rubbed off on her, and she does it too. It's like a hobby almost. I am always looking at real estate. I'm no real estate investor. I just do. For some reason, I like going on Zillow and Realtor.com and websites like that just to see what's going on. I don't know. Sometimes there's a house right across the street that's for sale, and I'm like, let me see how much that house is going for or whatever. I don't know. It's just something I've always enjoyed doing. Maybe it's fantasizing. I don't know, but I'm always looking at houses. And this particular house, she found a house near us. She brought her phone out and said, you got to look at this, and showed me this house that's on the market right now. We're not in the market right now, but this house was in the market. And I looked at it and I was like, if we were in the market to buy a house, this would be the one, because it was a nice enough house, needed some work. You could tell it needed some work, which that's right up my alley. I want to do that kind of stuff. Had a 5,000 square foot building on the property that we would be able to use for the business, which is a dream. And then it also had a giant koi pond on this property. I say giant, really any pond is giant to me because I don't have a pond and I've always dreamt of having a pond. So any pond to me is like, whoa, that's spectacular. This pond was probably 10 feet wide by 20 feet long or so. And it actually had two ponds, but they were like attached to each other. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We went out to this house to look at it just for fun. Again, we're not in the market or anything, but it's, there it is. So we went and decided to look at it and had a lot of fun. It's just something that we do for fun. I don't know. Some people go to bars and drink. We go look at houses. I don't know. We go to this house and I immediately go to the pond. Lisa immediately realizes there's 17 or 18 cats on the property. House is vacant. Nobody's there. The power's still on at the house, but there's nobody living there or anything. So it's not like we were, looking in the windows and the people were sitting in there having a bologna sandwich. It wasn't anything like that. There's nobody in the house, property completely empty. So she starts running around with the cats and, or chasing them because none of them wanted to come up to her because they're, wild cats or whatever they are. I went over to the pond and I go up to that pond and I immediately saw the problem. It looked like this pond had been sitting there dormant probably through the winter. I don't know. I don't know anything about the house. I don't think it was a foreclosure. I don't know. I don't know what the story was behind the house, but the power was on at the house, but the pond was not running. I know koi are very resilient. They were all swimming around. It's not like they were up at the top gasping for air or anything like that. So me saying that I saved these koi would be embellishing a little, but I made their life a little bit better and I feel good about that. So I look in there, it's completely dormant, but I hear the hum, the hum from the pump. The way this pond was done, it didn't have a skimmer and all that kind of stuff. Basically had a pump, a large pump in the main pond that pumped water up to the second pond, which had like a big bog filter kind of thing. That pond trickled down into the third pond, which then trailed over and dumped into the main pond. So there was 3 bodies of water that were fed by this one pump. The pump was running. I could hear it, but nothing was happening. So Lisa's running around chasing the cats. What am I going to do? I see this. I'm a fish keeper. I should have pulled out my phone and I should have filmed it. But I ended up doing some investigating. And I got down in there. I didn't get in the pond, but I, reached down into the pond and I pulled the pump up. And the pump was just jam-packed full of all kinds of stuff. This house is in the woods. Plenty of leaves and gnarliness and stuff fell down into that pond, as it will, because it's sitting in the woods. And it just completely clogged that pump up. So that's why I heard the pump running, but nothing was happening. So I pull that SOB out of the water completely. I take out my knife because, I've always got a knife on me. And I start scraping away at it, removed all of that nastiness. The screen on the pump wasn't removable, or maybe it was and I just couldn't do it because it had a lot of thorny things in it and my fingers were getting all chewed up, so I couldn't put any kind of force on that screen to get it off. So I just sat there and, I got all the time I need. I'm scraping all of this stuff off, and after a while it started to come off pretty good. Got it all cleared out, put it down in the water and heard that glorious gurgling, and then the whole thing started running. And I will say the fish did seem to be a little happier after that, because the water was running. They were getting circulation in there. There was oxygen flowing through the tank, through the pond. So I kind of patted myself on the back, felt good about what I had done. We were completely trespassing on this property. We didn't belong there. But you're welcome, whoever owns that property, because I made your fish's lives a little bit easier. I probably shouldn't have done that, because these days, even though you are, who knows how long that's going to sit there. The market being the way it is right now, that particular house, the person who's probably going to buy that house is going to be like an investor that's going to buy it and flip it. And so who knows how long that pond would have sat there dormant. And it's like, I don't care. I don't care about those goldfish that are in there. So I feel like I can take credit for saving those fish's lives, even though they'd have probably been fine in there for a long time. But these days, you're on somebody's property. It doesn't belong to you. You go sticking your hand in there. People are looking to sue for any, come after me. I don't know what you think you're going to get, but come after me if you want for saving your fish. But anyway, felt good about myself. Got some holes in my hands from all of those thorns, but it was a good time. So fish are doing well now, I guess. I mean, I haven't gone back. I'm not going to, because now that I've told the story online, there's probably going to be people out there staked out wanting to catch me trespassing so they can sue me and take all $9 that I have. But anyway, thought you might get a kick out of that story. We don't go around doing that kind of a thing. It was the circumstances around this house. We could tell from the photos online that it was an empty house. So if there were people still living in that house, we would have not walked up to the house. We would have probably driven by and just said, oh yeah, that looks nice. And we would have kept on going. But because it was the circumstances being what they were, and because there was a whole bunch of cats running around the property, we got out and we started looking around. So anyway, it was cool. And I wish we were in the market to buy a house, because I can confidently say we would have done that. We would have bought that house and it would have worked beautifully for our situation. But, it is what it is. So anyway, that's it for story time. But I do have a question. I have a question for you. And then I will turn to, the chat and see if I can pull some questions. It's very hard to do, because if you're looking at the chat, it moves pretty fast. I'm going to do my best, but we'll turn to that. But some of the first things I want to see pop up in the chat are answers to this question. Lisa and I are always talking about what should we add to our website? What should we make available to you that you're looking for on a regular basis? We're always asking ourselves that, because it's like we need to read the minds of fish keepers and figure out what it is that they want. And we add things and we do things and all of this. There's going to be a product that we're going to add to the website very soon that is going to be unbelievable. It's already unbelievable, but it's not available yet. When it comes out, it's going to be a big, big deal for us. But what are some things that you would like to see available on the website? Something that we can pick up. I already see one here. Somebody said bobbleheads, Snail Team 6. You know what? If I really thought people would buy them, I would look into getting them, but I just don't think they would. And they're not cheap to make. I don't think people would buy them for what they would cost. I mean, I know the ones that I've bought were that Jose Fernandez bought for us. They were over $100 each. So if I'm going to buy them and then I'm going to have them, I don't think anybody's going to sell that. That's just not going to work. Somebody said live plants. You're never going to see live plants on our site. I think you know who has that arena covered. Meet and greet event. That wouldn't be on the website. However, that is something that I saw Jason and Joanna talking about last night, talking about the events that are coming up this year. And I hope to be doing that there. Maybe we will see if we can organize one at Schools of Fish or at Nova Tropicals or one of these places. I think that would be a lot of fun. We'll see. But that's not something that would be on our website. I suppose we could announce it on the website, but I'm talking about what products. I see a couple of people are saying guppies, shrimp, all that. I'm not necessarily talking about fish. I think we're going to pretty much stick with the betas, beta betas, excuse me. Rama says betas too, so y'all better look out. And he calls plecos plecos. I'm just saying. So y'all better be on the lookout for that. But and it's funny because in the video he corrects himself too. And you all are going to think that that was staged, but it was absolutely not. That was completely organic. He was like, this is my beta section. Some people say beta, some people say beta. I say beta. So it was kind of funny that worked out the way it did. But yeah, I don't think you're going to see other types of fish. Maybe some snails. Maybe we'll maybe someday add some small plecos or something like that. Things that will go well with beta betas. But I don't see us becoming a full line, carrying every fish out there. I don't see that happening. I mean, we've got them in a huge room in our basement. I don't know how many more we can fit in there. But king betas, that's a great idea. Let me tell you something. Tell me this. Does king beta sound right? No. You have to admit, and Faye Doyle, I promise you, will admit it. It just sounds so much better, king beta. How about Taylor on YouTube? Does her channel sound better saying simply beta or simply beta? It just doesn't sound right saying simply beta. It sounds right saying king beta, simply beta. I don't know. I'm trying to make my joke here. Moss balls. No, you won't be seeing that on there. Somebody said more decorations. Decorations are a lot of fun to have on the website. It's rare, but sometimes it does happen where somebody will just order a plant, a fake plant, and it's like, that's adorable. But that's rare. Usually it's one of those things where people are picking up something like a filter or some chemicals or whatever, and they throw a little plant in there with it. It's something fun. But we have talked about expanding the decorations. We'll see. I don't know. Let me see what some other people are saying. Yeah, Melissa Jeswal's got it. Tomato. Exactly. In fact, Rama says that in the video. It's funny. See, it's almost like this video was made to be on our channel. It says, I have Python water changer. I thought somebody was saying we should put Python on there. Okay. It's because that person with all of the different letters says, who has a Python? I have a Python. If you're talking about the water changer, I don't have one of the fish. What? It's not a fish. I don't have one of the snakes. Even if I wanted one, Lisa would not allow me to have a snake because she is weird like that. She doesn't allow those. But Schools of Fish, again, you will not see this on Sunday because it is in part 2 of the tour. But Schools of Fish has a reptile room. And we went back there and we were looking, and she did think a couple of those reptiles were cute. So I might be able to someday figure out a way to get a reptile, which I would love to do. But it won't be a snake because there's no way. She will allow a snake in this house as quickly as I would allow a spider. You people that keep spiders as pets, I don't understand you people. I don't get it. There's so many things I would say I would rather collect. I just can't even imagine it. No, I don't understand that. But Lisa feels that way about snakes. She's like, why would anybody ever want to have a snake? I disagree. I think snakes are cool. I think reptiles are cool. And he's got some really cool ones there. I'm just saying. It's awesome. When I went there last week, they have one in the back, and I'm completely having a brain fart as far as what kind of reptile it is. But it's really cool. You will see this lizard in the video on Sunday because he is in part 1 of the tour. They were feeding him when I was there the last week, and it was just the cutest thing I've ever watched. He's licking his lips, and it was adorable. And I could have sat there and watched that fish eat all night. I kind of wish she had seen it, but she being Lisa, because that would have probably helped my cause to get a reptile at some point. But I don't know. Reptiles might be one of those things. If I ever was to get one, it might be one of those things that I just kind of keep to myself. I've talked to other fish keeping YouTubers that have talked about they got a reptile and they put it on the channel, and the channel like died because of it. I don't want that to happen, but I love reptiles. I think they're really cool. Right now, I love watching them from afar, but maybe someday Lisa will allow me to have one. But if somebody was asking about pythons, are we going to have those on the website? The answer is no. And it's unfortunate, but it's just not going to happen. I am probably the biggest fan on earth of that product. But they just don't make it available to where somebody like me could actually make a profit on it. And I mean, I'm not afraid to say that because that is a fact. The prices that they sell them for to retailers, I could pretty much buy them for the same cost at Amazon and mark them up by $3 and then sell them. It just doesn't make sense. So don't think you'll be seeing those. And I'd rather you not buy it from Amazon either. I'd rather you go to your local mom and pop and buy them or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think you're going to see those unless they change the way they're doing things and they start selling their products at a fair price that we can actually make a profit on. Then we would do it. And I'm pretty sure that goes for all fish retailers, not just us. It's not like they hate us and they're like, because of you, we're going to sell it to you for this much. It's the generic cost to anybody. Bearded dragons are dope. They are. I love them. I love tegus. I the little geckos, and I love them all. They're really, really cool. Our oldest daughter has a gecko. I think it's a gecko. I haven't seen it, but she has seen it. Lisa has seen it and thought it was really cool. She's big time into them. Maybe that's another angle that I could use to get me a reptile of some type in there. Not going to be selling cichlids again. When we were selling cichlids before, we had a 1,500 square foot shop. And before that, we had a basically 3-car garage. It only had 2 doors in it, but it was a 3-car garage with 127 tanks. We were breeding them. We had them, but right now we wouldn't be able to. And that's a whole other deal. If we're going to sell a full line of fish on the website, then we might as well start a fish store. I mean, you know, and we're not going to do that from our basement because that wouldn't really work. But when we move out of here, we'll see. So I'm not necessarily looking for suggestions as far as fish. I mean more products. Somebody, again, it's the same person that has all the letters. I don't know how to say your name. Beta hammocks. We've got them, small and large. They're on there. They're on there already. We're way ahead of you. We knew you were going to say that, so we made sure we already had those. Seachem Matrix. We've got it. API products. We do not have API products. There isn't any particular reason why we don't have API products. We do have General Cure. I think we're out of stock of it right now. It's very hard to get these days. And we typically have the test kits, both from API. I'm a big believer in API. I love their stuff, but we don't have all their stuff. I'm sitting here lying to you. Why are you watching me? I'm sitting here bold-faced lying to you. We have a bunch of API products. We've got the Beta Fix, the Beta Water Conditioner, what else do we have? The test kits, the General Cure, when we can get them. So yeah, we do have some API, but if you're looking for stress coat, stress zyme, things like that, we don't have that, mainly because we are big fans of Fritz. I'm a big fan of API too. I've been using API for probably longer than a lot of people watching this stream have been alive. Sorry, that's somebody ordering a beta hammock right now. I don't know that. I'm making a joke. I don't know what they ordered, but I love API products, but I'm crazy for Fritz. And Fritz has Guard, which is basically the same product as Stress Coat, and they have Fritz Zyme, which is Stress Zyme. So we don't need to carry a bunch of the same thing. I hope I'm making sense there. I'm actually going backwards. Lights. I've seen a couple of people suggest lights. I wish we could carry lights. They're not exactly easy to get. And then you have the question of which light, because there's only about 3,000 of them. And my thing is, I would kind of want to carry the lights that people would bark at, because they'd be like, oh, they're so expensive. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to carry the lights that you could buy for $12. You know, we know where you can buy those. I would probably want to carry lights that people would be like, oh, I don't buy lights from them because they're so expensive. So that's unfortunate. But I'm not going to say that there is no way we're ever going to have lights, because I think we certainly can. It's just a matter of finding the right ones. But Corey would tell you don't sell lights. Yeah, I mean, I know he sells a lot of them, and that's, you know, when you're talking about shipping a 4-foot long package, which if you have any kind of padding in there or anything like that, it's probably more like a 5-foot long package. The shipping charges on something like that would be outrageous. So that's the other factor here. There's a lot of stuff I'd love to sell. I'd love to sell big giant pieces of driftwood, you know, that like pieces like that. Now that's not real. That is a Universal Rocks product. I love it. It's one of my favorite products from them. It looks just like a piece of wood, but it's a man-made product. To ship that requires a giant box. It is a flimsy material, so you can kind of bend it and fold it and it'll be okay. But when you're talking about a real piece of Malaysian driftwood that's this big, which I would love to have, it's impossible. First of all, it weighs 30 pounds. And second of all, it would be in a box the size of a human being. There's just no way to do that. I would have to charge $30 in shipping, and there's exactly 0 people that are going to pay that much to ship a piece of wood. So the smaller driftwood pieces we do have. We've got some of the spider wood and things like that. We'll be expanding on that too. But the big stuff, I don't know that we would ever do that. Reliable heaters. We've got the Eheim. I call them Jaeger, or I call them Jagger actually, but when I say it in public, I say Jaeger, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Jaeger is the way they're pronounced. Jagger's fun because Mick Jagger. again, beta. What do you want from me? But I believe they are Jaegers. We have had those. They're, again, difficult to get. Everything is difficult to get these days. And that is a heater that it's hard for us to find it. When we find it, we buy as many as we can get. But right now, they're not that easy to get. I'm seeing TJ Oshie with a bunch of blood all over his face, and that does not make me happy. He's a hockey player. Yes, I'm watching the game while I'm streaming. But reliable heaters, that is a good suggestion. Same guy. I don't know why I keep seeing his comments, and I'm disrespecting everybody else's comments. Uniswim, probably not saying that right, says Universal Rocks products. I don't know that Universal Rocks has products that we can buy from them and then resell. We could have them custom make something for us that we could then sell, but I don't think we can carry like their backgrounds and stuff like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know that we can do that. Canister filters. This is another one that the issue is there is a I am so sorry, you're a girl. That is my bad. How am I supposed to know? I can see the avatar is literally the size of a pin on my computer screen. I'm really, really sorry about that. The picture from here is so small that, no, there's nothing weird. I was going to say, I'll flip the camera around and show you. It's so small that it could go either way. It's either a man with long hair or it's a woman with long hair. Can't really tell. So anyway, I apologize about that, but I did not mean to call you a man or a dude or whatever I called you. Canisters, we all know what the most popular canister filter out there is. And I won't be having that one on the website because same problem as with the Pythons. And not only that, they won't sell to me. So that's all I'll say about that. We are not big enough to carry that brand. That's all I'm going to say about that. Do we ship to Australia? No, I apologize. We don't. But there are some canister filters. There are some brands that we have talked to, and they're very good canisters. And we can get them and actually make it worth having them. The problem with filters is they're big. Canister filters, there are smaller ones, but a lot of canister filters are big. I mean, you've seen boxes with the FXs in it and the 407s and the big marine lands and stuff. Those boxes are really big. So again, shipping is an issue. Shipping cost is an issue. And these are big ticket items, which we don't mind doing that. A lot of them are difficult to make any money on because we would have to eat some of the shipping, which it's part of doing business. I'm not going to lose sleep over that. But when you're talking about shipping an FX6, let's say, and the profit margin is like $20 on a $300 filter, and then I'm having to eat like $10, $12 worth of shipping, I'm almost paying you to buy that filter. Now, there are some that are not that extreme as far as the margins. We just haven't figured out the best way to ship them yet. It's not like there is a USPS flat rate giant box. The large box is something that you would never fit a sponge filter in. So we haven't found the right way to do it. We're just squeaking by shipping the tidal filters. I mean, we sell a lot of Seachem tidal filters. Love that filter and love selling that filter. It's hard enough selling those, let alone a big, giant, super heavy canister filter. That would be a struggle, but we'll see. Maybe someday we will. How about a section on your site, what you need to set up a new tank? Well, that's kind of the whole site, almost. I mean, that's kind of, we may not have done it perfectly yet, but that's kind of what we're going for. That's what we want. Now, if you're talking about something like a kit, if you can't do a tank kit, okay, there you go. That is definitely something that we've talked about. But again, Selling tanks is really tough because it's made of glass. I don't think I need to say any more when it comes to that. So yeah, that's a tough one. But we've talked about that kind of stuff. So, but our whole website, we want our entire website to be a beginner section. I know it might not be perfect at that yet, but that's the whole purpose for our website. That's why the name of the channel is Keep Fish Keeping. I know it may not be perfect yet, and I don't think it ever will be, but the weirdest thing happened when we started our website back up again, because folks, we've had our website since 2011. This isn't a new thing for us, but since we started it back up again and started promoting it and all that kind of stuff, which was July of last year, we had absolutely no clue that what was going to happen was going to happen. Absolutely overwhelmed. And this is a beautiful thing. Trust me, you are not hearing complaining coming out of me, but we thought it was going to be one of those things where it was like, we'll get an order now and then, and it'll be fun, and we'll pack a couple orders a day, and it'll be cute, and we'll make a couple dollars, and we can help fund the fish room and all this kind of stuff. We had no idea that, we've got distributors that are telling us that we're one of their biggest clients. So, we had no idea that this was going to happen. So I haven't had the time to be able to make it exactly the way I want it, because to this day, it is still just Lisa and I. There's nobody else that's involved in it at all. And that's a huge mistake, because we could be doing so much more. My time could be going towards other things, and Lisa's time could be going towards other things, but instead we're spending all of our time doing this. And the main reason why is because we love it. I know it might sound crazy, but I love going down there and packing orders every day. I can't even explain it. I go down there, and I've got a Bluetooth Bose speaker, which I actually bought for videos. Anyway, there used to be music playing in the background of all of our fish videos for the website. Lisa doesn't do that anymore because she's mean. So I use the Bose speaker now for me. And I play music while I'm down there, whatever kick I'm on. A couple of weeks ago, it was Breaking Benjamin. Before that, it was Slipknot. Before that, it was whatever flavor it is that week. This week, it's Stained. I don't know that I've ever not been on a Stained kick. In fact, I just bought tickets to their virtual concert coming up in May. Super excited about that, and got a t-shirt, which I can't wait to get. I don't know why I just did this, because it's not this shirt. But I love going down there and doing that. Sometimes I'll put on videos on YouTube. Sometimes it'll be fish videos. I won't be watching, I'll be listening, and I love doing that. So that's part of the reason that we are doing everything. Lisa's taking care of the betas. I take care of the orders, and I love doing it. So the smart business move on both of our parts would be to stop doing all of those things, hire somebody, bring somebody in that can take care of those things, so that we can put our time towards the website and towards other things. But we love it so much. That's the problem. So I don't know. But again, I'm going off on a thing here. Today it's Disturbed. Again, another band. I'm never not on a Disturbed kick. Disturbed, Stained, Korn, Slipknot, Breaking Benjamin, Green Day, Alice in Chains. I could go on and on of bands that are always a kick for me. Neil Greenaway is my new favorite viewer tonight, because he said Aaron Lewis is a god, and I could not agree more, and Zen Ginger agrees with that. Aside from Sam Cooke and Brad Delp, who are both no longer with us, unfortunately, Aaron Lewis, my favorite singer of all time, except for those two guys. I guess I could say my favorite living singer is Aaron Lewis. Got me through some tough times, that guy. And I can't wait to to watch that online concert coming up. But anyway, I don't see any other suggestions for the website. Somebody said corals. Nah, I don't think that's going to be happening. That is totally not our thing. Let's see. Bose speaker. Good idea. Yeah. I mean, it's not like a big expensive Bose speaker. It's just a little Bluetooth speaker. Sounds really good. Fills up the room. But yeah, I mean, I didn't buy it because it had Bose. I bought it because it sounded really good and it was a good price. More merch and branding stuff. Maybe. It's tough. We had a guy that we were talking to and he was going to do some mugs and stuff like that for us, and possibly even some other shirts, but he was kind of just getting things going. He was just buying the machinery and stuff like that to do it. And I don't know if he's up and running yet. So when he does, we will do that. He's actually the one that made me, I don't have it sitting here. Oh, my computer is sitting on it. The mouse pads. I bought a huge mouse pad for my desk. It's like 3 feet, so it's the whole thing. So I'm not using it at the moment, but he made the mouse pads, and he sent us some mugs. We may do that. But I don't know. I mean, I'm still somebody, even though I'm packing up the blue KG Tropicals shirts. Thank you to everyone who has ordered those. The bubble shirts, we only have a few left. All of the Oscar shirts we sold out. Even though I was packing those up every single day, I still find it a struggle to believe that people would buy our merch. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things that it's still hard for me to grasp. But beginner section on planted tanks with breakdown on low-tech equipment. Yeah, see, I think we all know who has a good hold on that corner of the market right there. So that's not something I'm going to step on toes. And the main reason why, there's 2 reasons why you will not see live plants on my website. Because first of all, it's already taken, and the person who has taken it is a personal friend of mine and very, very good at what he does. And I'd be an idiot to step on his toes. And for 2, I don't know anything about plants. So how am I going to sell you something that I don't know anything about? The only plants I know are plants that I kill. I kill plants. I don't kill the artificial plants. I'm really good at keeping those. I got a lot of them right there. Live plants, I'm really good at killing them. So why would you buy a product from me if I don't know how to tell you how to keep that product? I can tell you how to keep a beta. I can tell you how to feed a beta, everything you need to know about. Well, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything, but you understand what I'm saying. I can help you through the process of keeping a beta. I can tell you how to take apart the shark filters and the Seachem tidal filters and the microns. And I can tell you how to use, how to maintain, how to fix, how to install every product that we carry. And that's how I want it to be. I don't want to carry something that I don't know anything about. And if I was to sell plants, I would be lying to you, and that would just be dumb. So I won't be doing that. Now, we do sell a plant fertilizer on there. One of our distributors was offering a super good deal on it, and we bought it, and nobody buys it. And that's okay. That's fine. It's one of those things. We got a really good deal on it, and we bought it. It's not like we were expecting to make a bunch of money selling that, but it is. I don't know. I don't know what I keep talking about. What about masks? You know what I thought about that? But I'm hoping to give it a couple of more months, we won't be wearing masks anymore. I'm really, really, really hopeful. I'm getting my entire mouth rebuilt, starting in a couple of weeks. And I had to go to the dentist today to kind of get the whole plan put together of what I'm going to do. It's going to take 6 visits to fix this mouth. And the wearing the mask while sitting in the dentist chair, and they had to wrap my feet up. Every patient that went into this doctor's office had to get bags put around their feet. And, it was like this whole thing. I can't wait for all that to be over. I really can't. I'll do it, and I'm not going to complain about it because that's, it's the world we live in right now. So it's fine. But I really hope that in just a couple of months, they're no longer a thing and we don't have to wear it anymore. We cannot ship to Canada, unfortunately. But I did announce last week that the Oscar shirt is now available on Teespring. I don't know I don't know about the quality of it. I don't know how good the quality is, but yeah, they're there. I haven't bought one, but I put the design on there, and we'll see. What are you getting done? Susie Q's asking me that. I know why she's asking me that. I originally, in fact, Susie, I've talked to you about this. I originally was so fed up, I wanted to just get all of my teeth ripped out and get dentures. And I've talked to people about it. I've talked to people that I know and that you know, that I will not say who they are, because you probably don't know that they have dentures. And that means that the dentist that did theirs did a good job. But I'm not going to do that. And it's because I'm just not going to. I probably should, because it's going to cost way more to get these fixed than to just get them ripped out and get dentures. But the dentist convinced me not to do dentures. I mean, she said, look, I'll do it, but here's why you shouldn't. And so I'm not going to be doing it. So I made sure to not schedule any of my appointments for Thursdays. Because I'd be like, welcome to the free. I did a high. Yeah, it's not going to be anything like that. Bubbles is okay on Teespring. Is the Bubbles shirt on Teespring? Yeah, it is. Now, that's why I was talking about that. The Oscar shirt and the Bubbles shirt, the whole reason that they're on Teespring was for people overseas. Now it's pretty much for anybody that wants them. Now, of course, anybody that wants them could have always bought them, but the purpose of putting them on Teespring was for the people overseas that wanted to order them, that Teespring services, because they service like Europe and parts of Europe, I guess, and Canada and the US, I think Canada. And so that's what we put them on there for, was not for our friends in the United States. But now, unless you're a child small or a child's medium, it's the only way that you're going to be able to get a Bubbles shirt or an Oscar shirt. So is to order it through Teespring. Again, the Teespring quality is not the best, but you get the shirt. It's there. Oh, John, make a Superman beta shirt. That'd be fun. That would be fun. If you just eat flake food, your teeth should be fine. I've had so many bad habits in my life. Never been a huge candy eater, but so many different tobacco products and stuff like that. My teeth have just been worked over, and it's been a lifelong struggle for me. And there you go. So now I'm going to pay for it to the tune of a stupid amount of money. This is the life we live here, folks. Kids, brush your teeth and don't do anything that involves tobacco because you're just asking for it. Let me get to a couple of these super chats that I have not been ignoring, I promise. I wish that I could be like so many good streamers out there that read super chats during their stream. They just go all through it. They never miss them. I do them in clumps. Furloughs Aquatics, just take my money. Can't think of anything witty to say. Well, that was witty enough for you to say. Thank you, Eric. Jeremy Sellers with the winky face. Thank you, my friend. Gurvinder Parmer. I hope I'm saying that right. Love the channel and wish you the best. Thank you so much for that. Let me see here. Let me move this over so I can see it better. Roger Bricks. Thank you so much. What did you do to us? Oh, nothing. Just a blue stripe with 99 cents. No sticker, no nothing. Nothing said. Just here is my avatar of an adorable, what appears to be German Shepherd. The avatars are much bigger on the super chats. the one that I called a dude earlier, don't get mad at me. They're bigger on the Super Chats. So I can tell that looks like either a Belgian Malinois or a German Shepherd. I'm going to go with German Shepherd. Jill Williamson, welcome to the team. Became a member. Gurvinder came in again. We need more fish content. Keep up the great work. We're working on it. We're bringing you a doozy this weekend. I'm telling you, you just wait for it. People are going to want to drive long distances to get to schools of fish in Richmond, Virginia. Believe me when I tell you, you are going to want to visit that store, and you'll fall in love with Rama too, because he's an awesome dude. Delana Silva with the #1 fan pair. Thank you. I don't know what we do to deserve you, Delana. You spoil us. Hillbilly Aquatics became a new member. I'm going to tell you all a quick story, and you're going to make fun of me, but that's okay, because that's why I'm here. I super chatted somebody the other day, and it was not a fish channel. I've super chatted many fish channels, but I was watching a video that had nothing to do with fish, because sometimes I got to get away from it. You know what I mean? One of my favorite channels on YouTube is a channel. Let me make sure. Isn't that silly? I don't know the name. I'm pretty sure I know the name, but I want to make sure. Yep, I wanted to make sure I got it correct. It is Antonelli Baseball, and the guy on the channel's name is Matt Antonelli. Shocker, right? He is a former MLB baseball player. I did not know this man when he was a player. I'm one of those baseball fans that I am crazy about baseball as long as it's Washington Nationals baseball. I don't really pay attention to other teams, and he never played for the Nationals. At least I don't think he did. But anyway, I'm a big fan of his YouTube channel. He does a lot of videos where he talks about what it's like in the clubhouse of the MLB and how different is the minor leagues versus the majors and all this kind of stuff. And I super chatted him the other day during a live stream, and he said KG Tropicals, and he read my super chat, and I got a real thrill out of that. And it reminded me of how important these are. And I don't know if people hear Lisa and I read their super chats and they get that same feeling that I got when Matt Antonelli read mine the other day, but I did. It was an amazing thing. And so, yeah. And he totally read my super chat wrong too. And it, I was kind of like, oh man. I had said in there, I'm really depressed right now because I'm a Nationals fan. But thanks to channels like this, I'm able to get by until they get their things straight or whatever. The reason why I said that is because the Nats, half of their team is in quarantine right now because of the COVID. But he read that to mean that I was upset because the Nationals are not a good team. And that's definitely not the case. So they just won the World Series a year and a half ago. They're a great team. I'm not upset because they're not a good team. I was upset because half the team has COVID. But he did. I guess he didn't realize that's what I meant. So I was kind of like, oh man, Matt, come on, man. But no, it was a thrill. I was, this guy, I love his channel. And it was a thrill for him to read my super chat. So if you all feel that way with Lisa and I reading your super chats, this is just a crazy world we live in. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. And on that topic, I already said that one. I didn't read the super chat because I was too busy talking about the German Shepherd on the avatar. Hey, I have a 55-gallon tank. Nitrate is not high. Light is off, and I can't get this algae bloom to go away. Algae fix does nothing. Help. Love your videos, by the way. The biggest thing to do with algae is figuring out where it's coming from. There is an imbalance somewhere. Nitrates don't have to be bad to have algae in the tank. The algae is growing. I made the mistake in one of our videos to say algae is a plant. I said that, and then some idiot made a meme of me and all of this kind of because I said algae is a plant. What I meant to say was think of algae like a plant. What makes algae grow, excess light, dirty water conditions, leftover food, all of those things, too much waste, not enough maintenance, all of these things. These are all things that can contribute to plant growth and algae growth. So figure out what that is that's causing that. What a lot of people overlook is lighting in the room. I know this sounds ridiculous, but you can have a window that's all the way on the opposite side of your room, and it can be causing algae in your aquarium. How? Because even though it's not lighting up your aquarium like you have your light on your aquarium on, it's still going right in there. The water intensifies it because of the reflection from the glass and all that kind of stuff, and it makes it flourish. So figure out where or what the cause of that algae is. Are you not doing enough work? Are you not doing your maintenance enough? Are you overfeeding? Is there too much light either coming in from the room or coming in from your lights? Fix that, you fix your algae problem. An algae fix, again, I'm a fan of API products. I am. But the only algae that I have found that will just completely be eliminated by Algae Fix is the algae that actually blooms in the water, not the green algae that's on your glass and on your rocks, not diatom algae, but water cloudy algae, that kind of algae. You understand what I'm saying? Almost instantly, Algae Fix will fix that. Take it away, it's gone. Tank's never been cleaner. But if it's buildup of diatoms and green algae and blackbeard algae and all that, it ain't gonna do nothing to that. Sorry, API, but it ain't gonna do nothing to that. And then the only other thing I would add, Roger Bricks. Roger Bricks is, if it's diatom algae, none of those things are gonna do anything. You gotta get in there and clean it off and stop feeding it. There are some water sources that have diatoms in them. Be aware of that. And if yours has diatoms in it, you're going to be struggling with that for a while. But you can start looking into fish that might eat that and stuff like that. Plecos love diatoms. If it's a big giant tank, which you said 55, so it's not, so I'm not even going to say it. Never mind. Josh Scher, we're waiting for our pre-approval on the mortgage. Got the 125 finished also. Nice. That's a beautiful thing. Pre-approval on the mortgage. That's been there. That is mortgage. Getting mortgages sucks. That's all I'm going to say. Melissa Jeswald, thanks for Crush. Snails confuse him very much. That's funny. Melissa Jeswald is somebody that Lisa sent a rescue beta to, and he was cute. He had a problem with one of his eyes, and Melissa took him in, and that is awesome to hear that snails are confusing him. That's funny. Jeff H., he pooped on us. Thank you for pooping, Jeff. Josh Scher also sent $5 to poop on us. That's a $5 poop right there. That's a severe, monstrous, probably bowl-filling dump. It's not a poop, it's a dump. Glenn Hardung, probably not saying that right. Welcome to the team. Became a new member. Fish Tank Barn. Put $5 in the tip jar. We love Mike Howell. Of course we do. Stephanopicus. Best name on YouTube right there. Any tips for diagnosing ick on white fish? Thanks. It's kind of tough. It would be like chicken pox on somebody that's heavily covered in freckles. Terrible analogy. I'm sorry, but I'm by myself. I'm trying my best here. So there is always going to be some lethargy. I think I'm saying that name right. Fish is going to be a little sluggish, breathing heavy, slowed breathing. A lot of times you'll be able to see in their gills, if you actually look in their gills, that pink area around their gills, you might be able to see some of the ick spots. And then also, you know, so many fish that we deal with have kind of transparent fins, and you'll be able to pick them up on there too. Even if it's a white fish, a lot of times their larger fins will be kind of transparent, and you can pick them up on there. So if you're seeing it there and you are seeing them kind of sluggish, moving around like they got a hangover and breathing heavy, then it might be time to start treatment. Jeff H, making a list for my next KGT order. My pleco is about 7 inches long. Should I go to large extreme wafers or stay with the small? He loves them. And my thing just skipped. Thanks, greetings from Martinsburg. The extreme wafers are all the same size. What's probably happening here, Jeff, is you're probably seeing 2 different size cans, but the wafers themselves are the same size. So if you're using the smaller can, yep, you're obviously using the smaller can. If you go to the bigger can, it's going to be the same stuff, just more of it. So I hope that helps. They are going to be the same. I know that they reworked their wafers a while back, and then they had to actually rename them because I guess somebody had a hold of the name that they were using or whatever. I don't know. I don't understand all that corporate stuff, but the name is different now, but it's all the same product, so you shouldn't have a problem. If they're eating the small ones, keep feeding them the small ones. Not a problem. Sorry, had to do this. Where am I at? Okay. Tiffany. I'm going to say Tiffany, but because of the big E, it makes it look like I. Tiffany. With the $3. How's it going, kitty? It's going great, except for the fact that my throat hurts. I'm not coughing because I just vaped. I'm coughing because my throat hurts because I've been talking nonstop for 1 hour and 6 minutes. But I'm enjoying myself. Tiffany. Thank you for that very much. Let me get back to the regular chat because I know people are going to be mad at me for only doing super chats, and I don't want to do that. Okay. That one's a weird one. So I'm not going to go with that. This is the worst part about streaming alone because I'm sitting here looking for this and you're very bored watching me do this. Schools of Fish and Fin and Feather are the best stores in Richmond. Totally agree. And that's not because Rama is a friend of mine, but it's just because it's fact. There is a lot of really cool, I think there's 2 or 3 really cool saltwater stores in Richmond that even if you're not into saltwater, I don't have any saltwater tanks, but I like looking at them. Really cool stores to go in. But yeah, when it comes to freshwater, yeah, Fin and Feather. But I definitely, and I think 3Boy D would agree, Schools of Fish pummels Fin and Feather. Fin and Feather's a cool pet store, but they ain't got nothing on Schools of Fish, right? Come on. Okay, let's see if I can find something else here. KG Tropicals, I have spent a stupid amount of money, but I have teeth. Yeah. See, and that's the thing. It would cost me a lot less money to just get them ripped out and get dentures. But like I said, the doctor convinced me not to. I just hope I don't regret that. I know dentists are all going to try to convince you not to do that because they're going to look at it as, you know, a mechanic. The mechanic's customer bought a new car. Now I don't have a car to fix. Same kind of a thing. But I really do trust this dentist that I go to. Trust her a lot. And I don't sense any kind of money grab or anything like that from her. I believe in her. She's awesome at what she does. I've had a lot of work done by her and never felt a thing. So when she says, keep the ones you have, I believe her. It's just going to cost me more money, but you know, it is what it is. Liz Dring, probably not saying that right. John, can we talk about heaters? How do I calibrate them? Room temperature is 72 in winter and 77 in summer, but multiple tanks run randomly 75 to 82. I don't get it. Well, calibrating them, it shouldn't be an issue unless you have one of those heaters that need to be calibrated. Like not necessarily calibrated, but they have the dial on it that you have to kind of set. The Jaeger heaters are that way. It really shouldn't be that difficult. If your heater has one of those dials on it that has to be calibrated, which it's not, is that really calibrating it? I don't know. Check the temperature of your water, not your room temperature, but check your temperature of the water. And if your heater needs to be calibrated like that, then dial it down to, don't turn the temperature down, but turn that dial down, the separate thing with the arrow on it that'll tell you, that points to the temperature that it's at. Point it to that temperature, then you know where you're at. Now, some heaters are designed to heat things up by like 4 or 5 degrees. So if your water is 80, it's going to heat it up to 86. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of that has to do with room temperature. A lot of it has to do with light that goes into the tank, the equipment that you have on it, the tank size. All of those things are a factor. So it can be very, very difficult. But I have a feeling, because you're saying, how do I calibrate them? I have a feeling you're dealing with a heater that is like the Jaeger, in that it has that dial on it that you can kind of pinpoint where you're at. It's not to set the temperature, but it's to point the arrow to where the temperature is. And if that's the case, put your thermometer in there, read the thermometer, and then dial the heater to whatever that says. And then you know, if you turn it up to 79, the tank's going to go up to 79. I hope that makes sense, but it probably didn't. Wolfie Jack got my BF into betas, and someday my 125-gallon cold water may be made into a tropical community tank. What would you put in it that's not Oscar? How dare you, Wolfie? I thought we were going to get along. I thought we were friends. I thought things were going to be fun and we were going to have some good times together. And then you just went and ruined it with that. There's so many things. The 125, I said it in the video last week. This is a tank that you could almost do anything you want to do. You can't do red-tailed catfish. You can't do arapimas. I would even say you should not do silver arowanas. Jardinis, maybe, but not silvers. So you have more options than you do options that are forbidden. Does that make sense? So many things you can do with that tank. There's large cichlids you could do in there where you'd only want a couple in there. Yes, you can do Oscars. I don't care what your super chat says. You can put Oscars in there. They're amazing. Severums, amazing. Imbunas, peacocks. Good Lord. There's so many things that you could do with that. You could do a community tank with all peaceful fish that aren't going to bother each other and just put a whole bunch of them in there. It's so fun to figure out what to do with a 125-gallon tank. What I would tell you is completely different than what Lisa would tell you. She's got a 125-gallon right now that's got like 12 or so female betas in it. It's got a bunch of harlequins in it. It's got a bunch of plecos and snails and a mono shrimp and all kinds of stuff. She didn't have any plecos in there. I don't even know why I said that. But then her other one has discus and rummy nose in it. So many things you can do with that. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Look around. But don't go to the fish store and say, okay, I'm going to pick out a fish for my 125. No. Go to the fish store and just look around. Go to a store like Schools of Fish. I don't know where you live, but a store that has 200 tanks in there, and look around and see what you see. When you see them in person, it's different than seeing them in videos. So enjoy that. Take your time. And then when you end up getting 2 or 3 Oscars to put in there, let me know. You don't have to super chat it. Just let me know. Douglas Korb became a member. Welcome to the fan. Tyler Stute. Did you say Stucci? I'm pretty sure you corrected me and said it's pronounced Stucci. Thank you for pooping on us. We enjoy people's poops. Pam Husak, thoughts on beta guitar? Smardina guitar. I don't know what that means. And I feel bad. I wish I could refund you your money. I'm assuming that is a type of beta that I have not heard of. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you and sit here and Google it and be like, oh, yeah, I know that one. I've never heard it. Guess what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to Google it so that I know what you're talking about, but I'm not going to act like I know what you're talking about. Let's do it. Steenfot does this on his stream. Why can't I do it on mine? Let's see what she's talking about here. Okay, so it's like aliens. I mean, is it just another... It's a type of aliens? I'm looking at them, and I love them. Of course, your internet runs a little slower when you're streaming, folks. Is that just the... It's really, really pretty. But is that just another... Why doesn't it say... I mean, these all just look like alien betas to me, which we have on the website. I've never known them to be called guitars. But if that's what they're called, it's awesome. People are probably like, why would anyone listen to this guy? He doesn't know what a Smaragdina male is? Awkward. Yeah, this looks like an alien beta to me, which I've never... See, here's the thing. I know you're probably like, how can we take this guy seriously? I have never, in my 20-something years of keeping fish, I have never been a scientific name person. You start talking scientific names to me, you lose me, because I don't care about scientific names. I know it's a very important thing to a lot of people, but not me. I just want you to say alien. If that's what we're talking about, Pam, it might be a different type of alien or a super special type or whatever. If you want to know my opinion on aliens, I understand they are a hybrid variant and all this kind of stuff, and I don't care because I also don't have a problem with hybrids. I'm not one of those people that believes hybrids are ruining the hobby and all of this nonsense. So you want to know my thoughts? I love them. And I'm not saying that because I sell them. I'm saying it because it's true. I wouldn't sell them if I didn't love them. So I hope that answers your question. A-Rod, I wonder if that's an Alex Rodriguez fan. Love your top 10s and short podcasts. Thanks for the content. Thank you. Getting mixed reviews of the podcast style videos. It's not a podcast, but that's kind of, it's almost like that's what we're calling them, is like podcast style videos. Getting mixed reviews. The majority of people that comment about it like that format. But I've had some people like, can you stop doing this? Can you go back to doing the green screen and the scripts and all of this kind of stuff? And, you know, we will probably do videos like that again down the road. You never know. We mix things up a bit. But I really, really like the podcast style, sitting at the same spot that I'm sitting right now. Same background. Looks a little bit different because it's a different camera. It's a different angle. But I really like it. I like just having a topic and just going for it and not having to worry about a script and all that kind of stuff. But we are not, I know we've put out like 3 in a row that way. Not all of our videos are going to be that format. It looks like we've shifted to that and that's all we're doing. It's not the case. It just so happened that that's all we had for the last few weeks. But they're going to be mixed in with other content. We've got a lot of plans and a lot of really fun ideas coming up. But thank you for your comments on that. There will be more top 10s. That's another one that, you know, love doing them. Absolutely love doing them. There is no debate that the top 10 list had a lot to do with our company's growth over the last 2 years. But you know, sometimes you gotta try something new. And I don't know any other top 10 lists to do, if I'm being honest with you. So anyway, thank you, A-Rod. Tracy Walker, I'm going to order more food tomorrow, so don't mess it up. Yeah, I will not mess it up. I promise. I don't know what the deal was that day, but you know, I sent you the right food, just not enough of it. Hey, everybody makes mistakes. And I think that was on a Monday that I sent yours out, and Mondays are maddening. They're crazy because of everything that comes in over the weekend and all of this. It's kind of crazy. Tiff and I again. Have you guys considered selling feeding rings? I love using mine to feed my beta underneath all my dwarf water lettuce. Yes, we've talked about it. We may, we'll see. You know, that's another one of those things that we've talked about a lot of different things. And why we haven't pulled the trigger on that, I don't really know. But yeah, that might be something that you end up seeing. Wolfie Jack, again, isn't that again? Yeah, he's the one that had the nasty things to say about Oscars. Channels I see on cold water fish, ESP koi, are high-end auction fish. What is your thoughts on just some Joe sharing their cold water fish experiences? All right, I'm going to read that again because this one sounds deep. And even though he made me mad with the Oscar comment, I still want to give this the respect it deserves. Channels I see on cold water fish, especially koi, I'm assuming that's what the ESP means, are all high-end auction fish. What are your thoughts on just some Joe sharing their cold water fish experiences? Well, wow. I don't know how like radio hosts and stuff do that. Well, they get breaks. Every 5 minutes they get commercial breaks and they can drink water. So here's the thing. This is not what you're going to want to hear from me, Wolfie Jack. Sounds like a DJ name, Wolfie Jack. I'm just some Joe sharing my experiences. That's pretty much what we all are in the fish world. Now, you do have a lot of fish keepers that are on YouTube that have much more experience than others. You have people that are doing videos. I know people, I'm not going to name names because it's not that I dislike these people, but I've known people that have started their fish keeping YouTube channel just months after setting up their first aquarium. So, and the well-respected people, we are all sharing our experiences. You know, some might be more experienced than others, but that's really what you're getting from all of us. So if it is I wouldn't change my opinion on that if it had to do with high-end cold water fish. All of it is the same way. We are all just schmucks in our basements or in our garages, and we like to share this hobby that we love. So hopefully that answers your question. But that's also, in my opinion, what makes YouTube so great. It can be a detriment. It can be a bad thing because I've actually, Lisa and I filmed a video, a podcast style video that I'm debating on whether I'm going to upload or not, where we talk about just this, where we talk about some bad information that we've seen put out in Facebook groups and things like that. But the truth is, that's that person's experience. And even though it's bad, and a lot of us are going to look at that as it's bad, that's their experience. So to them, it's right. You know, the villain in a movie always thinks they're the good guy. I mean, whoever's sharing their experience believes they're doing the right thing. I've said a lot of things on this channel that people would so totally disagree with, but it's been my experience. So the long-winded answer is that's pretty much what we're all doing. Some more than others, but we're all just sharing our experiences. I spend way too much time answering each one of these questions. This is why my throat gets worn out. David Wanner, probably Wanner? Sounds better, Wanner. I'm going to say Wanner. Almost done cycling a 40-gallon show, adding 10 female betas, 12 cardinal tetra, and 6 cories. Do you suggest a particular order to add them? How many should I add at a time? P.S. You're doing fine by yourself. Thank you. I hope I didn't stop doing fine when I pronounced your last name. I hope I said it right. Because yeah, I was going to say, it's not Warner, is it? I bet you a lot of people look at your name and say Warner. Okay. Now, David, I don't know where you're at in your hobby. I don't know how confident you are. I don't know what makes your tank a show versus another person's. So when you're saying show tank, I'm going to take that like you're somebody who knows their way around a fish tank. So you probably have a good understanding and you have confidence in how to maintain water parameters and all that kind of stuff. So if I'm right and you are that person, my personal feeling would be you put them all in at the same time. Now, I know a lot of people would bark at that and be like, what? That's a lot of fish to put in all at once. But if you know what you're doing, if you know how to take care of the tank, you can do that. If this is your first tank, I would absolutely not suggest that you do it this way. I would probably, you're going to think it's the opposite, but I would probably put the cardinals in first. Let them get in there, let them do their thing. Then when you add the betas later, the betas have not claimed that tank as theirs yet. If you put the betas in first, or let's say you put the betas in and the cories in all at one time, the betas are going to establish themselves. That's what betas do. They're going to find their little spots. They're going to claim their territories. They're going to probably bicker with each other a little bit, but then they're going to get into a pecking order and they're going to figure things out and everything's going to be fine. Hopefully. It doesn't always work out fine, but hopefully it does in your case. And then you throw 12 cardinals into the mix. Now the betas are going to be like, hey, wait a minute. What do you think you're doing here? You understand what I'm saying? If you put the 12 cardinals in, the betas aren't going to immediately enter the tank and go, hey, this is ours, get out of here. It doesn't really work that way. They could, because you never know. I mean, what I just told you could be completely wrong. It could go completely upside down. You absolutely never know. But that's what I would do. I would put them all in at one time, and I would just keep a close eye on things, and I would, make sure I'm on top of it, make sure I have everything available to cure a problem if a problem pops up. But if that scares you too much, I would put the cardinals in first, let them figure things out. Cardinals aren't going to bicker with each other like betas will, but let them get in there and get comfortable, and then add the betas a couple of weeks later, 3 weeks later, whatever, and then you should be good to go. The cories, I don't think it matters. Put them in whenever you want, because cories don't bother anybody. Come on. Avi, that's how I'm going to say it, and Shauna with a super cute smiling kitty, $2 kitty. Thank you for that. Why can't everyone's name on YouTube just be John Hudson or Bob Smith? I got a friend named Bob Smith. I'm not kidding you. Tom Johnson, Michael Davis, why do names have to be so complicated and make me embarrass myself because I don't know how to pronounce them? I entertained the idea one time when I was first starting my channel, way before K2 Tropicals. I thought about using my middle name. My middle name is it bad to say your middle name? I don't know. My middle name is Skylar. And it's spelled in a way that most people, when they see that middle name, they're like, Schuler? Schuyler? Because it's Schuyler. That's how it's spelled. And so people don't know how to. So I thought about doing that. I thought about my name would be John Schuyler. But I just knew nobody was going to know how to pronounce it. So because my entire life, going to school on the first day, John Schuyler Hudson, nobody could ever figure it out. Why can't they all be easy like Jeff H? Thanks, thought they were larger, not just packaging. Oh, yeah, okay, that must be about the wafers. Yeah, they're all the same size. So, yeah, when your fish get a little bigger and they're eating more of it, just get the bigger can, and then your fish will be thrilled. Carl Batzel, really enjoying your channel, helping me get back into fish keeping with my grandson. He loves it. Hopefully he will have a lifelong hobby. It's the best thing ever for a granddad to do. We have tried that with ours, but he's still only 2. We'll get him there, but he loves coming over and seeing the fish. So I'm with you. I want to do that and develop the next generation of fish keepers. I'm going to need somebody to take over this YouTube channel at some point, right? Maybe he's the one. Furloughs Aquatics Not that my opinion matters, but the podcasts are my favorite style of videos from y'all to date. Your opinion does matter, Eric. You know that. And that's really nice of you to say. Thank you for that. I love it. I love the laid back formula. Not because it's easier, but just because it's fun. It's just fun to do that. So, okay. Nicholas Smith. Is a 75-gallon tank sufficiently large for a single specimen Oscar? Thanks for the info. I don't like calling them specimen. That's just a weird thing. I'm not picking on you here, Nicholas, because you're doing the right thing. You're asking the question before doing something like that. Yes, you can have an Oscar in a 75. I've done it, and the fish was fine. You know, I would love to see them in something bigger, but let's be realistic. Most people don't have fish in tanks that, you know, if you put your Oscar in a 75, you'll be doing a lot better than a lot of people do. A lot of people put the cutoff at 55, and I'm not going to say they're bad people, but 75 to me should be the bare minimum for an Oscar. So that's the thing. You're at that bare minimum. So there you go. Silver Slugger 20. I love the name. I'm torn between getting a freshwater talk, I think that meant tank, or saltwater tank. What would you recommend for a beginner? Definitely freshwater. They both have their challenges for sure, but freshwater's easier. And all right, let me just. You have one less thing to worry about when it comes to freshwater. Now, I'm not talking about reef tanks. Reef tanks are next level stuff. I've never been able to keep one successfully, not even in enemies. I mean, I'm terrible with corals and I don't know why. But if you're doing just a saltwater tank, what are y'all doing back there? Y'all better knock it off. They don't listen. If you're doing just a saltwater tank with fish in it, you only have really one other thing to worry about than a freshwater keeper does, and that's mixing saltwater. Is it hard to do? No. You learn how to read the meter and you mix the saltwater up, or you go to a mom and pop store. Schools of Fish. I don't know where you live, Nicholas, but not Nicholas. Silver Slugger. You're in Canada, so you can't go to Schools of Fish, but a lot of mom and pop fish stores have those big giant containers of salt water in the back, so you don't have to worry about mixing it up. They already mix it up for you. Salinity's right. Everything's good to go. So that makes things a whole lot easier. But I still think freshwater's just easier. I really do. And cheaper, because when you go bananas with a freshwater tank, you can spend a lot of money. When you go bananas with a saltwater tank, you can set yourself back because there are some saltwater tanks out there. And I'm not talking about big giant, show like where you would see it in a public aquarium, just a decent sized tank, like a 150-gallon saltwater tank, reef with all of the fancy gadgets and things like that they put on there. Oh, you can spend as much as a car. You'll never spend that much with a freshwater tank. So, plus freshwater fish are cheaper. A lot of people, unfortunately, this is a reality in our hobby, folks. A lot of people will kill some fish in the beginning of the hobby, and the freshwater fish are cheaper. I know that sounds really, really bad, but if you lose a $4 Cardinal Tetra, it's going to hurt a lot less than losing a $40 Nemo. You know what I'm saying? Plus, it'll break your kids' hearts. I don't know if Silver Slugger has any kids, but, I'm just saying. Gustavo Cortez. I know that name. Hey, John, thanks for sending my 2 Seachem Title 35 orders along with the rest. Just came in today. Can't wait to buy more. You are very welcome, my friend. Love seeing that. This is the world we live in here, folks. This is a gentleman that put in a nice order on my website, and then sent me $5 to thank me for sending him those products that he bought from me. Isn't this a beautiful world? I feel like I'm scamming people. I'm not, I promise I'm not trying to, but it's like this world just amazes me. I don't understand it, but it's a beautiful thing. And thank you, Gustavo. And I can't wait to see your orders come in down the road too. We love it. It's our favorite thing in the whole wide world. Karen Hyatt, I still don't know if I'm saying that name right, along with the next one. Christine, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to say your first name, sent us the sunglasses smiley face along with the poop. Lots of people pooping tonight. Must have been a lot of Mexican food being eaten. I don't know. It does that to me. I don't know if it does that to y'all. A lot of burritos and maybe some big greasy cheeseburgers being eaten tonight because a lot of people are pooping. Sid the Fish Keeping Kid. Hey, John, are you going to add some more contact the members only area? Yes. I am sorry. We've had a lot happening lately, and I really apologize about that. But yes, absolutely, you are going to see quite a bit of stuff coming down the road. I promise. Don't you worry. We got a lot of plans, but again, it's just the two of us, and it is tricky. But the answer is absolutely yes. No one's membership money is going to waste. I promise you. Chuck Tornetta, is it Tornetta? I believe that's how you say it. I'm fighting off a sneeze here. Welcome to the team. He became a member, and oh, it skipped. Why does it skip? And Athi and Sean again. I really hope I'm saying that right. Y'all have helped me so much. Got my first 5-gallon tank 6 months ago. Now we have a 10-gallon, 29-gallon, and 55-gallon. Isn't that interesting how that happens? If you think about, I don't know how long any of you all, 600 people are watching. I don't know how long any of y'all have been following along this channel, but if you go back to September of 2018, which is when I came back from a break from YouTube, had to step away for a little bit, and when I came back, I was sitting in front of one 75-gallon aquarium, and I said, I was adamant. I was like, this is all I'm doing. I'm setting up one tank. I want to get back into this hobby again. Didn't really take a break from the hobby, but I wanted to get back into the hobby of YouTube again. I want to be a part of the community again. This will be fun. I'm just going to set up this one tank. That's all I need, and I'll be completely satisfied. Now I'm sitting in front of a 360-gallon tank with a 240-gallon across from me, a 29 and a 15 here, a 240 in the basement, a 75 right there, a 90 in the basement, and 400 beta tanks in a room in the basement that also has two other 125s, a 29, a 15, and a 20. And I could keep on going. A rack of 6 10-gallon tanks. Remember when I said I was only going to have one 75-gallon tank? It's amazing how these things happen. They happen so fast. And I don't even know, if I'm being honest with you, I don't even know what to say about it, because I genuinely did not expect any of this. I started my channel back up again. It's not like I ever shut the channel down, but I just wasn't uploading for a little over a year. And I started making videos again just for fun, just because I missed the creative process. I missed you, beautiful people, even though a lot of you probably weren't here then, back before I started my break. I missed it. I wanted to come back to it. And what has happened in the last 2.5 years has been, I just don't even understand. I really don't. My life today is so vastly different than it was in September of 2018. And I'm not trying to paint this picture like we struck it rich or anything like that. No, because that's not the case. Not even close. I'm not going to cry poor, but we're certainly not wealthy or rich or anything like that. But just like, this is what I do for a living. What? Like, who would have ever thought? It's absolutely nuts. You've got beautiful people like Gustavo, just did it again, and he orders from us, and we send him products, and this is how we're able to make a living. I could cry. talking about it. It's just, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I can't even properly thank anyone. So Athi and Shauna, look out, because things can go crazy real fast. Karen Hyatt, yes, you're saying my name right. Good, thank you. Because you're not like Christine. Christine is a wonderful supporter of this channel. We adore her, but she does this on purpose. She knows I don't know how to say her name, and it makes her laugh, and she likes to pick on me. And so she does that every week just to pick on me. And you, Karen, are nice, and you don't pick on me. Christine, of course, you're nice too. I just wish there was a way I could know how to say your name properly. What am I doing? Rose Johnson with the $10 and nothing attached to it at all. See, you see what I'm saying? How does this reel? How does this even happen? I don't even understand it. Gustavo comes in again. One more question. 7 Cory catfish in my 20 long. And when I feed those bad boys, they get the pellets stuck. Any ways to keep that from happening? They get it stuck in their mouths? That I don't like. The way to stop that from happening, Gustavo, is switch to flakes. Unless you have a much smaller pellet. I'm not sure. I could look up your order. I don't know if it's an extreme product that you ordered. If you bought the food from us or if you bought it from somebody else. If they're getting the food stuck and they can't get it down, that's scary. But what you might be seeing, and this is nothing to be alarmed about, the Cory cat's mouths are so small. What you might have is, picture yourself biting into an apple and then removing your hand and sitting there with the apple hanging out of your mouth. You're not choking on it. It's not hurting you. That might be what's happening because their mouth is so small. They might be kind of latching onto that pellet and they're just kind of working at it. You know what I mean? They're working at it slowly and they're going to end up getting it down. I have I always talk like I just assume nobody's ever seen any of my videos, but in my 240 gallon yellow lab tank, I have a little guy in there. His name's Dude, D-U-D-E. He is adorable. He is my favorite fish in there. He's just a little fella. And that's what he does because there's 60 fish in there. At least that's what Extreme said, or that's what Florida Exotic said, that it's 60. I still think it's 50. But anyway, it's impossible to count all of them. He's one little guy in there. So I can't just throw in like, all right, y'all move out of the way. This little teeny tiny pellet is for that guy down on the bottom. You know, that doesn't work. So I put in the cichlid peewee and then another product that I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but they are loving it. But they're all the same size pellet. The cichlid peewee is a 1.5 millimeter. It's too big for Dude. He's that big. So he does that. What he does, it's the cutest thing. In fact, I got it in last week's video, I think. He'll take one, and it's hanging out of his mouth, again, like the apple hanging out of your mouth, and he swims down into the rocks, and he goes down in there, and he just works on it. And it just takes him a little bit, and he works on it, and he ends up getting it all down eventually. He's growing, so obviously he's getting it in him, but that's what happens. I totally meant they get it stuck between the rocks. Oh, so what have we been talking about this whole time? And then the food just gets lost. Okay. Now see, that makes a lot of sense. Totally different thing. I would probably still switch to flakes unless you're wanting to completely rework all of your decorations. Rocks could mean a few things. Gustavo, don't you send another super chat to explain yourself, please. But the rocks could be gravel that's on the substrate. Rocks could be rocks that are large rocks stacked up. Flakes tend to get picked up by the current and thrown back around. And so they might not get stuck like that. Flakes are perfect for Cory's. They'll work on work on pellets too. But unless if you have sand, then you're not going to have that problem. I hope I'm making sense here. I mean, that I'm trying to help you out, Gustavo, because you done spent $15 now to ask me a question that I haven't even answered yet. But I would try switching to flakes because they'll float around and they are less likely to get stuck places, and the Corys will be able to get them. The cool thing is, though, the Corys, they are scavengers. They will go down in there and get the pellets out, but the ones that they miss are going to end up rotting down there, and it's going to foul up your water and all of that. So, yeah, you switching to sand, but that's a whole challenge of its own. I don't know. I just realized it's 9:45. This is crazy. I went 15 minutes over. Wow. War Baby with the $5. Thanks for the fish knowledge. Has helped me get into this awesome new fishy life. Thank you so much for that. And the avatar is adorable. The War Baby is cute. Thank you so much. Okay, listen, folks. I did not realize I was 15 minutes over my time. I was having so much fun talking to y'all, and see what happens when I talk and talk and talk and talk. I lose track and I go over time, but it's been fun and I've enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging out with me this whole time without my cohort that is so much easier to look at than I am. It's been a lot of fun. Matthew Meyer, big re-upped. That's not a new member. That's a re-up of a member. Thank you for that. It's been a lot of fun, folks. Everybody's re-upping now when it's time at the end of the stream. Fire Killer LB. That is an interesting name. I'd love to know the story behind that. Thank you all so much. This has been an absolute blast. My throat is a wreck, so I am going to sign off now. This has been a blast. Like I said, be on the lookout for the video that's going to upload on Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Trust me. It's such an easy watch. I've watched it myself like 19 times because it's just so easy to listen to Rama talk about his shop, talk about his business philosophy and this philosophy of setting up display tanks for the fish and what type of fish to carry and which ones not to carry and how he likes to present them and all of that. It's an awesome, awesome watch. First video is going to be about 22 minutes long, I think, but you're going to watch it and you're going to be like, I can't believe 22 minutes is gone. That went by so fast because it is that easy to watch. It's not because of me. I'm only in the very beginning and the very end. It's all because of Rama. Had a blast down there. You're going to enjoy it. Come back next Thursday and let me know what you thought of that video. Or better yet, just leave comments on that video. Let me know what you think of it. Anyway, that's it. That's enough for tonight. I am going to go drink some honey tea or something. Whew, this has been hard. Thank you all so much for bearing with me tonight. And I look forward to seeing you again next week, where I'm probably going to be by myself again. I'm sorry.